scatters when you play the beat, A brainiac, in fact,
Now press rewind.
Welcome to Brainsqueezereactions. Myself, Mark Hector. What are we reacting to now? Tupac. I'm not adding the energy because of what we're talking about here. This here is something that was sent to me that says Tupac's main bodyguard explains why Suge Knight had Pac set up. This is just another fucking layer to this crazy puzzle. If you're new to the channel, man, I have been on a major Tupac knowledge education journey where I've got to go on this fucking whole, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like a teaching. That's what it is. It's like a teaching. I have learned things about black culture, communities that are currently being lived in that still are fed government bullshit. Tupac's life and the shit he had to go through. His mum, the Black Panthers, the New Panthers as well that he was a part of. I've gone on a culture journey as well. Fucking hell. It's been crazy, man. This has been a crazy 9 months. And this is going to be another strange piece to this puzzle. Comment section is for love, it's not for hate. Haters, go fuck yourself. You're welcome to debate, but please remember that it's all opinion led. Opinion from me doesn't mean I'm right, but it's opinion from you, and it doesn't mean that you're right either, unless we're talking to the man himself. Oh, this is gonna be hectic. Don't get mad. Oosa.
How about this? Did Pac sleep with Faith Evans?
Yes.
Okay.
No fucking about this. Okay, that wasn't part of the fucking title, but there we go.
Did Pac sleep with Jada Smith?
With who?
Jada Pinkett.
I wasn't with him during that era of his life, but I'll put it like this: I wouldn't doubt it. He said that Jada
he smashed
like a
pound cake,
like a female him.
He did
that,
pound cake.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Let the dude speak.
So
Shut the
Next
fuck up,
question.
man.
So all right.
Next question.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Next question.
Did with all the lost files coming up, you know, detectives feeling like they want to go on retirement because of this and all that. People say conspiracy theory. You know, it's because of him talking. They said he wanted to be part of a certain elite group of people. Then he felt like the lifestyle that they was doing, they were trying to take his soul, and he wanted his soul back. So people felt like he had to go because he knew a little bit too much. Do you feel that Suge Knight set him up?
That's a really good question. It's a very interesting question. Also, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Put it to me how it's supposed to be.
I listen really careful to this. I make no.
Hello.
Okay, here you go. In 1996, the way I felt and what I thought about that whole thing with Suge Knight and the whole situation concerning Tupac and Suge Knight was completely different, because I couldn't understand how anyone would sit in a car with someone that they would put a hit on and trust that they wouldn't get shot when bullets was flying all through their car. I said it in Before I Wake, which plays on Fuse TV, and I said it in Got Your Back. You can find it at www.frank-alexander.com or amazon.com.
So is that a yes or a no?
Now, no, this you got to hear this. The thing about that is that was 1996. In 2001, Rolling Stone magazine came out with the Rampart investigation through LAPD. And when that came out, I read that article. I have that article. The whole Rolling Stone magazine was about this crooked LAPD cop story of how Biggie got killed and how Pac got killed. And then it named one of the bodyguards who was with me, that was my relief bodyguard for Tupac, named Kevin Hackey. And I can say this because his name is out there like that. And we did a documentary, and he came out and said that he was an FBI informant, and he was there to infiltrate death row for drug racketeering. Now, all along.
Okay, so, picking up from what you're saying, to start with, you were saying about Suge Knight staying in the car when it was getting loaded with bullets. I think that's roughly what he's saying. But he's saying there was another bodyguard that was working with the FBI. Is that what he's just fucking said? Saying that one of the bodyguards was an informant for the FBI. That's madness.
Like that, and we did a documentary, and he came out and said that he was an FBI informant, and he was there to infiltrate death row for drug racketeering. Now, all along, when we were working together, I never knew that. No one ever knew that. But the Rolling Stone magazine announced it. So Kevin sued him over it because they exposed him. All right?
Oh,
so
wow.
after I read that article, and then I started seeing all these LAPD cops that was from the magazine, they had them in there, pictures of them dressed in red suits, then I started thinking differently, all right? Then I started seeing different things about how a different theory and a different conspiracy could have happened. Who am I going to trust to sit next to me or trust to fire into my car if I would have set it up? Would be another police officer, someone that is well trained with using a weapon. I have 2 documentaries that go into that, and it's Tupac Assassination, Conspiracy, Revenge, and Reckoning. And I talk about those theories, and I talk about that. And my whole thought process completely changed from 1996 to 2001 after I read that article. Then I started digging and digging and digging and looking for dirt. When I started kicking rocks and rocks started turning over, my partner and I, we started finding dirt. And then other things started coming up. So my whole theory on Tupac's murder did a 360.
So let me ask this last question.
Absolutely, to answer your question, absolutely. Somebody set him up. Now, the conclusion recently, within the last week or two, the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the FBI released a 349-page document saying that in their findings that Suge Knight and Reggie Wright orchestrated and put a hit on both of them, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur.
What? What the fuck is this 390-page thing? Did he just say that, whoever the fucking other name was, but Suge Knight put a hit out on Tupac? Is that what the document said? Fuck, that just gave me chills, man.
That in their findings, that Suge Knight and Reggie Wright orchestrated and put a hit on both of them, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. That was the FBI's findings after they released their findings and decided to close the case on that murder investigation for them too. Now, that's what they wanted to do. The FBI did that. And the only reason why they can't bring anyone to trial is because they had 17 informants, and all of them said no, they wouldn't testify. So if you don't have no one to testify to the facts, you don't have a case, and the DA is not going to take it. So LAPD, being Biggie's jurisdiction of
17 informants, just fucking listen to that. So one of them being the bodyguard, they're saying that written down in that document that both him and Biggie were killed. Who do you think the other informants were? He said Reggie Wright. I don't know who that is. We'll say Suge Knight in there as well. We've got this bodyguard, but there's going to be some in Biggie's camp as well. You know who I'm fucking putting top of that list? Who's the biggest bitch in Biggie's camp? The biggest. The one that followed him round like a fucking rat. Like a rat. Where are you going? Where's the money? Where's the money? Don't you go anywhere without me. Don't you go anywhere without me. It's like fucking Kevin Hart chasing The Rock, man. That's literally what it is. Fucking hell, cream puff, man. You know you're an informant. You know you are. You stink of an informant. You're a rat, bruv. Conor McGregor says it, rat. That is what you are. You absolutely stink. All fingers point at you, man. All fingers. Go back and watch all the interviews, all the dissection, all the people that knew Tupac. Not the comment section, actual people speaking. The ones who knew Pac from Adam, the ones who were with him, who spoke to him, who saw all this shit going on, the ones who heard the phone calls from fucking Cream Puff saying about get him or get Biggie or get this and get that. I've still got a couple of other videos to watch that's got his name fucking glistened all through it as well. You know he was an informant. I don't give a fuck what the comment section says, man. If this is real and this is what this dude is saying, I'm telling you, Cream Puffy was right at the top of that. How dare someone try and take his poxy little kingdom? This dude was creating a fucking empire. empire, bigger than P. Diddy will ever be able to touch.
Having no one to testify
You know
to
it
the
for a
fact, you don't
fact.
have a case, and the DA is not going to take it.
No.
So LAPD being Biggie's jurisdiction of where he was murdered at, and then Las Vegas being Tupac's jurisdiction where he was murdered at, they're cold case files, and it's going to take somebody to have to solve them. Do I believe that the person that pulled the trigger on both of them are dead? I would say Tupac's killer for sure is dead. The other one, I can't say as far as Biggie goes. I believe Tupac's killer is dead, though. But I believe this. It was definitely set up.
Now,
Both of them. It was set up.
Based on your rock uncovering and flipping over, do you or did you see or were you leading to the fact that Suge had something to do with it?
And Puffy.
Now you say and Puffy. I don't know. Here's the truth. Okay, John 8:32. The truth shall set you free. I don't know absolutely one thing surrounding Biggie's death. I cannot answer not one question surrounding Biggie's death for two reasons. One, I was no longer working with Death Row in the security company. I was long gone. By the time Biggie was killed, I was unemployed, writing my book or whatever I was doing. So I cannot answer anything concerning Biggie, Puffy, because I don't know nothing concerning
At least he's
Puffy,
honest, man.
being P. Diddy now. I believe that someone out of Death Row's camp knows who set up Tupac's hit, is what I believe.
Based on your rock uncovering and where you were leading and things you were seeing, do you believe that Suge had something to do with that?
What I believed in 1996,
Yes or no?
what I believe today, I would more or less point my finger to yes than no, and that being because we interviewed witnesses and people that testified on camera in my documentaries, that Suge Knight and Tupac had a vicious fight in New York at the MTV Awards, and Tupac told one of the bodyguards, after he was finished with a video shoot, they were walking him to the airplane. He told this bodyguard, who's a real good friend of mine to this day, he said, "I'm a dead man walking." And he said, "Pac, why would you say something like that?" He said, "Because I don't want to go to Vegas, and I got a bad feeling about it." And that was September 6th. It was a Friday because they had just finished shooting Toss It Up.
Fucking hell, man. Speaking to the bodyguard saying that as well. He knew, man. He knew his demise. Just think, when the albums came out and someone said on one of the tracks, he says, Suge or something, someone set him up. Is it the beginning of one of the tracks on the Machiavelli album? He says something along those lines. Fuck.
A friend of mine to this day, he said, "I'm a dead man walking." And he said, "Pac, why would you say something like that?" He said, "Because I don't want to go to Vegas, and I got a bad feeling
That's so
about it."
sad
And that was
to hear
September
that.
6th. It was a Friday because they had just finished shooting Toss It Up.
That's
And
when
he
the
told me
Movie
that.
Records, I think, was starting out.
Who was the
He wanted to leave.
Who was the big enticer for him to go to Vegas?
Well, here's the other thing. Everything, you guys are really good because everything that you're asking me, all these questions are in my book.
Why, thank you. We just saw the radio yesterday.
Tupac had some family matters that was going on in Atlanta, and he really didn't want to go to Vegas. He
Spice
really
One
wanted
said
to
about
go
that.
to Atlanta to deal with the problems that was going on with his first cousin, which was one of the outlaws. And this is in my movie, Tupac Assassination Reckoning. It's in that movie. And it's not even that I'm telling it. His family, Tupac's family, is telling it, telling that whole story. And he did not want to go to Vegas. He was not going to Vegas. And he had his mind changed and persuaded to go.
By who?
By who?
By Suge.
Does that have anything to do with him wanting to leave Death Row and start Movie Records?
That there, when we were on Gridlock and all of that, they had already called an audit on Death Row. We were working on a set of Gridlock, and Yak Fula's mother was one of Tupac's assistants, and she came down to the set specifically to talk to myself and Kevin Hackey to tell us that there were some things going on, there were some changes going on, and they was no longer going to be working with Death Row, that they were doing an audit on Death Row because Pac wasn't getting all his money, and there were some problems. And
don't just stop there, man. I'm going to assume that just stops there. That's a shame. Someone's going to have to send me the rest of that. So, I need to know the book. I need to know this dude's book. I'm sure he said Got Your Back. I'm certain that's what he said was Got Your Back. I need to find that book from this dude. But that's interesting. Look, he spent a lot of time just promoting himself on there. And, you know, if he's written a book and he's done all this work to investigate, good for him. Good for him if it's going to uncover the truth. Couple of nuggets in there that I ain't heard of. This 390 page or whatever it was document that's exposing all these fucking informants. One of the bodyguards being an informant close. Tupac saying he didn't want to go. Linking up exactly with what Spice One was saying when he was saying about he wanted to do some family matters, then ended up in Vegas and Spice One couldn't get there as well. And once again, we've got Suge Knight's name. And the fact that he wasn't getting paid. There was something going on with Death Row Records to try and chase the fact that he hasn't got all of his money. There's a lot of fingers pointing, and I like the fact he totally shunned the Biggie thing, saying I got nothing to say about that, I wasn't there. So this man is, I'm assuming, talking facts to the best that I can understand through a telephone call. But it's another interesting piece to that. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Comment section, keep unpacking, telling me shit that I'm missing. And I need the link to more of this one. I need to find more of this. I didn't realize, man, it just fucking cut out. And that drives me insane because it's like half of a story. It's like fucking teasing me with shit. Queen Puffy, though. I know you was an informant, bro. You smell like an informant.